As promised, here's the new stuff. I basically worked on animations and placements of more level assets. Kind of it. And some code changes. Here you go. Alright, so currently, basically how this works is the player's going to come through this whole forest. There's like a chase sequence with the monster, like main antagonist monster thingy. They get across here, have a little moment, and then they have to canoe. As they row the canoe across the lake to this cabin. It's going to be obvious whenever they get to the canoe because it will look like this. So the little light in the distance is where they'll have to go, obviously. So whenever they go there, they go talk to this poison. A little dialogue happens and they come up here. And so what I'm going to be working on now is I've got a player dummy. This is how I basically do all my things, is I have a player dummy that will enact a lot of the scene for me. So I'm going to be changing, well, not changing, but continuing on with some of the animating here of where they get knocked out by a tree branch. Okay, so yeah, I decided that I'm going to make the player actually have to like press W or something like that to push the tree off of them. So I'm gonna start working on that now. I think this is pretty decent. So whenever they kind of come to, player will have to press W to get them to stand up, and then this will be the animation for it. And so then now I'm going to work on standing up. Okay, I think that's pretty decent. So I think now let's see what the total outcome looks like. That's pretty good. That's fine. That'll work. Alright, so now everything is linked up together, so let's see what the overall output looks like. All right, yeah, cool. I think that's pretty good. So let's see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like with the actual lighting. Okay, so here is with the actual lighting. Sick. And so, like I said earlier, I mean, I have a problem where I'll do too many things in normal, like, good lighting, and not even realize it doesn't matter whenever the actual lighting is put on the scene, because I can't see it anyway. So, but oh well, at least it's good practice. And so now that I've got the animations done for up here on the hillside, I'm going to go ahead with the actual player controller and see if it links in correctly. So that's the limb that should fall. Hopefully it will. Sick. Love it. Oh, hell yeah. So something I wanted to show. One of the last times that I showed anybody this little area that I made, I didn't have any good bordering or anything like that set up. It was pretty bare. As you can see, all the lake shorelines look pretty bad. There was like almost no detail over here. It's just very bad placeholder, not bad, but like, it's just placeholder stuff. And then all the way up here, like, you can see all this stuff, and it's so bare. What I ended up doing was I took an entire day. I didn't record it, but I should have. But I took an entire day and first added all of these cliffs as borders for the lake. So I think they look pretty cool. It gives it a way better feel, a better look, in my opinion, as opposed to this barren feel. I think it makes it look a lot better. And then I went through, added some things up this trail. So I added a lot of just random little details, a lot of rocks and different stuff all the way up through here. I think it looks a million times better. Old and new. And then I decided to go a little bit more and added in all of these details. So I added in some fake, tree backgrounds, backdrops all over the place. Added some more stones here, a lot more foliage, as you can see. Up here, there's all of these bare cliff sides, and I just added in a lot of new detail. It's fine for now. It looks really decent, I think. I think it's actually shaping up pretty well. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. So with all the new added details to the cliff sides and all that good stuff, this is what it's going to look like, or what it does look like with the correct lighting. So yeah, I think this looks really, really good. I'm pretty stoked about it, honestly. I love it. So whenever you come up to the shoreline, you can see just the reflection coming off these rocks. I think it just looks amazing. And so coming up through here, you can see all the different foliage, the shadows that it's casting. All of this is just awesome, in my opinion. I think it looks so good. The shadow of the trees here in the back. I think the billboarded fake tree back there, those just added so much amazing depth with literally no overhead almost. I mean, there's obviously a little bit. Everything has overhead, but so minimal that it's not even really worth calculating, to be honest. But yeah, so that's how it is now. I love it. So I wanted to show off how I was doing some of my buoyancy things with this this canoe that the player rows. I'm using the Nature Manufacturer River Auto Material stuff for the lake. So this lake is all that. And then the canoe itself, I'm using, I've got their buoyancy scripts on there. So I didn't make them, but I've got their buoyancy scripts on there. So these two spheres in the front and back, the capsules on the sides, those all have buoyancy attached to them. And they counteract each other, but also they're connected to the canoe with hinge joints. That way it'll keep it upright. And so then I've got the player inside of it, and you can just look around and all that kind of stuff. And whenever you row, I'm adding some forward forces on all of these things based on the side that they're rowing on. And it, with a little bit of animation on the character controller, it gives it a really decent little look. So yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of neat to do this. I had also mentioned before, I know that I have an issue with, especially with animation. So if you can see, the hands aren't really doing anything amazing here, right? The fingers aren't allocated to the outside of the oar, and that is because I have an issue myself where I do too much without swapping my lighting to the correct lights. So I'll show you why they look like that. The player will never actually be able to see the fingers. It's very, very, very dark. It's a very dark scene. So they might be able to see a little bit, but to be totally honest, they're just not going to care. So instead of taking all the time to animate fingertips, I decided, screw it. Otherwise, that's what I would do. I would animate the fingers on the outside of the oars and all that kind of stuff, but that's just complete wasted time. But yeah, kind of neat how I got that set up. I also, I'd also gotten this little thing set where basically whenever they get into, so here you can see all the hinge joints that I've got, but whenever they get into the canoe, I have a little forward vector that gets pushed at the end of the animation of them getting into the canoe to kind of give it a little bit more of a realistic feel as it goes into the water. I'll show you that. So you can see it goes forward just a tiny bit as they're getting into it. I just thought that was kind of a neat little detail. I like to add as much detail as I can without being completely obsessive, but I still do sometimes. So yeah, I thought that was just kind of neat. Wanted to share that. So there you have it. This week's stuff. As always, there's a lot more that I just didn't record or forgot to say. I do a lot, but some of it you just can't show. Anyway, that's it. Subscribe, wishlist, follow, all that good stuff. See you next week. Bye.